Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs are at it again, Leafs Nation. They win another big one against the Carolina Hurricanes, a 4-3 in overtime. The big guns sure came out for this one. Coach Ryan D is going to take you through the game, let you know what is going on in the world of the Toronto Maple Leafs, why they ended up taking this one against one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NHL, and where is Toronto going to stack up when it comes to the playoffs. This was a big 2 points, and Toronto getting the right matchup for round one could be a very important key to their success, getting through that first round and getting through the NHL playoffs. As we all know, they're coming out of the most dominant, difficult division in hockey right now, and then they're going to have to get through likely a team like the Carolina Hurricanes and maybe the Colorado Avalanche or Vegas Golden Knights on the other side. So this was a huge 2 points. I'm going to break down all the reasons why, and you want to stick with us until the end because Coach Ryan D is a high performance certified Hockey Canada coach, and he wants to break down what is going on with the Leafs and the Canes right now. Toronto comes into this game with one of the most potent offenses in the NHL, good enough for number 4 with 3.6 goals for. They're chasing the first place Colorado Avalanche at 4.09, and they really lean on their offense again in this one. I don't really blame them at this point. Their offense, their set plays, and their ability to forecheck and cause confusion in the offensive zone and in the neutral zone is one of the best in the NHL. Toronto still has a few weak spots. There's still a little bit of a shaky performance from Jack Campbell. One of the goals that we'll take a look at that went in tonight, definitely not on his best angle. And the Toronto Maple Leafs defensive core is giving up way too many chances down the middle. They're playing far too soft. They're not playing on their men. They're waving at pucks. If the name isn't Morgan Riley, I'm not really a fan of them right now, but that doesn't mean that the Maple Leafs can't win and they don't have a lot of time to get right. Carolina knew this coming in. They exploited a little bit of it to make it a 3-3 game. And you know what? We went to overtime. For all intents and purposes, this is a tie. The mini game that is overtime is fun. You need to get the 2 points out of the mini game. But at the end of the day, these were equally matched teams that came out equal in the end. So what's going on in the Toronto Maple Leafs offensive land? Well, frankly, 5-on-5, they're one of the most dangerous teams in the NHL. When you take a look at their heat map here, they are scoring from the middle of the ice, and we can go team by team, but we don't have time to do that. Not many teams are getting chances in this dangerous of a zone. We call this the home plate. Take a baseball home plate, overlay it over the image on the top, and you end up seeing why this team is so deadly. And I've said this on this channel many, many times. Shots from the point are desperation shots. All teams want to move the puck into the middle of the ice, into the slot, cross the Royal Road. That's where you get primo scoring chances. And you can see Toronto doesn't take a lot of shots from the top. Morgan Riley is a fantastic defenseman. They have a few offensively gifted defensemen in Riley and in Sandin. And hey, Brody's not too bad either offensively. They're not feeding them the puck in the back because why would you? You have a much better chance to score at this area. The difficulty with the Leafs coming into this game, though, is that they're a little bit snake bit around the net. They're actually pretty cold, so they're getting a ton of chances, but one of the key reasons they're actually 4th in the NHL and not 1st, because frankly, they have one of the best offenses in the NHL, is because they're not finishing to the rate they need to finish around the net. But you know what? That can't hold forever. If you're generating chances from the middle of the net, you're going to score, and Toronto does that tonight. The big guns came out with Mitch Marner, 3 points. Austin Matthews, 2 points. John Tavares, 2 points. Morgan Riley, 2 points. The big guns, the big 5, this is what you pay them to do, Leafs Nation. And really, I know there's a lot of anti-Leafs people who talk about, hey, look, you can't win a Stanley Cup with 5 guys. You can't win a guy with a soft team. And you know what? I see the point. When these guys go cold, especially guys like Marner or Matthews in the playoffs, it's a real heartbreak to a team because they are built around these guys. But that is what Kyle Dubas has constructed. That is what has to win a Stanley Cup. And this is what the team is all in on now. So you can't change it, but you got to be pretty thrilled with the offense that these guys are demonstrating. They are living up to their contract right now. You just got to hope it holds when it comes to playoffs. Goal run by Nino Ryder highlights one of take a look at this. This highlights the biggest problem with the Leafs. You have 4 players battling 3. They get out-battled in front of their net, and they're looking for pucks. They're not tying up sticks. They're not taking out bodies. You want to have one man on one man stick lifting a puck. Take a look here. Whack. Take a look here. Whack, whack, whack. Slap the puck. Slap the puck. Fall. Carolina gets to reset and get near the middle of the ice. Cole ends up following in it, and then there is a tip in that ends up going in because you cannot tie up a stick in the slot. This is unacceptable defense. Waving at pucks, you gotta find a lift and you gotta play the body on plays like this. Beautiful redirect that goes in. Look, Leafs fans, you have all reason in the world to be super frustrated with what goes on in front of your own net. But then we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the magic that is Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and John Tavares on the power play. Austin Matthews makes a nice play at the net here, ends up corralling the puck again. But this, even though it generates a goal, I absolutely hate this play by Matthews. Matthews down here, low in the corner. He's not looking. His head isn't up. He has 3 Carolina Hurricanes in the way right now. This is absolutely not a puck you want to force through here. But sometimes when you're a really talented player, you get away with shit like this. Matthews got away with this one, which is fine because they end up scoring. But oh boy, I'm going to tell you, 8 times out of 10, that's not getting through. But the happy accident of it sneaking through over to Mitch Marner allows Marner to sneak in, get a beautiful tip by everybody in front of the net, and Matthews puts it home for a goal because of course he does. He's Austin Matthews. He's the second best goal scorer in the NHL behind Ovi. And I only say that because I got to give Ovi grandfather rights and he's super cool. The Leafs go back to their beautiful set plays and we end up seeing Mitch Marner sneak up here to make what we call a 2-3, meaning you got 3 defensemen, 1 forward up there. And then what you end up seeing is instead of just moving the puck back here to Morgan Riley, the puck ends up moving over to Mitch Marner, and Morgan Riley is going to carry himself down the wall. This is a really perfect switch. This is a set play coached by Sheldon Keefe and the Leafs coaches. Works out beautifully. These guys are the best in the NHL at set plays off the draw. Right away as that puck moves back to Morgan Riley, Mitch Marner has come through, and this has caused massive confusion for the Carolina Hurricanes. I don't blame them. I'd be quite confused if I was a defender. You do not plan to defend these things. You can see Slavin and number 24, Mr. Jarvis, our guy, they're pushing up to the top the way they are supposed to push up, but there's only 2 players that go to the point. So now you got 3 down low, you got 3 up high. That ends up being a mismatch, and you'll see a beautiful give and go. That was a flawless. Jarvis is burnt. He's one of the best skaters in the league already at 20 years old. Morgan Riley ends up crossing it over. You remember that red heat zone? Right into that beautiful red heat zone. So that'll go ahead and light up some of that blue. Austin Matthews in the middle. You are never, ever going to stop a puck like that coming over from Riley to Matthews across the road. Beautiful play by the Leafs. Tony DeAngelo answers back, and you want to talk about a set play. I love activating defensemen down low there. DeAngelo leaves 3 of them in the dust right now for a 3-on-2. And I got to tell you something about Angelo. He's crap. He's an absolutely amazing hockey player, but as a human being and as a person in the NHL, he is definitely one of my top 2 or 3 least favorite guys. And you know, on this channel, I don't hold anything back when it comes to things that I think are junk. He's right up there with the entire Arizona Coyotes franchise as a grouping, not the fans. Arizona fans are fine, but DeAngelo, the Coyotes, 2 of my least favorite things in hockey. God, he's junk, but he's good. DeAngelo ends up cutting down, and the key to notice here is take a look at this angle. You can see it on the bottom left of your screen here. This is not the angle that he wants to play. For those of you that have followed the channel for the last year, hey, thanks by the way. Subscribe, like, and join us if you haven't. What are you waiting for? It's one of the best hockey channels going. Leafs Nation, smash it, be with us. So even though the Leafs are down, one of the best offenses, one of the best forechecks in the NHL, you can see Bunting going in here. Look, I've been a huge Bunting fan in terms of the forecheck. He may be a little guy, but there's nothing little about his forecheck here. I mean, this is just an incredible play by Bunting the entire way up. Perfect 1-2-2 by the Toronto Maple Leafs. But you want to take a look at what Mitch Marner does here. This is not necessarily the right way to play the game, but when you take a look at the fact that there's only 5 minutes left in the game and you're down 3-2, sometimes you got to do things to get, you know, goals and move up. And I think that's what's going on with Marner here. He's not a stupid man. But to me, Mitch Marner's on the right side of the puck right now. He's in good D-side positioning because a lot of things can go bad here. But instead of joining the forecheck, because what normally should happen here is Marner should pinch in. The puck is in doubt. When puck is in dispute, meaning it is not on a Maple Leaf stick, you got to send everybody that you got that's near the puck to get the puck. You want the puck. But Mitch Marner doesn't do that. Mitch Marner actually backs out and goes towards the net, which is counterproductive. Now, he does end up getting a goal, but I think it's because there were 5 minutes left. He's trying to make something happen. It's not an ideal play, to be honest, but it works. And sometimes when you're this offensively gifted, you just got to let the boys play. All that hard work pays off. He ends up scooting behind the defense, and Frederik Andersen and the defense are going, What the heck, man? And I don't blame them. If I'm a Carolina fan, anybody, look, Carolina, you can't plan for that. That is just an absolute, like, it's just a goal. There's nothing you can do. That's creative. There was nothing about that is set in the playbook. You don't go ahead and train for something like that. You don't practice for something like that. It's just Mitch Marner being Mitch Marner, one of the best players in the world. All right, so those 2 points, I told you, the nugget. What does this mean for the playoffs? Because nobody cares about anything in Leafs Nation except winning the damn first round and getting towards the Stanley Cup. We've talked about it. You're in a brutal division. Florida, Tampa Bay, Boston, yourself. That is going to be a heck of a first 2 series. And matchups matter here. I'm going to say it right now. Sitting in position 2 or position 3, and technically Toronto's in position 2. Like, yes, they're down by points, but with the games in hand and the win percentage that they have .733 points per game versus Florida, who is .734. So for all instances, they're tied for first. Tampa Bay is .717. You don't want to play Tampa Bay in the first round. You don't. I don't care about the Stanley Cup hangover. You do not want to play Tampa in the first round. You need that first round, that first matchup position. But the problem is, if you end up in the first place position, if you overtake Florida and Florida has to play Tampa, because nobody wants to play Tampa, neither does Florida, you get to play Boston. The ratings will be through the roof. You want to play Boston. I'm telling you this, right? You want to play Boston. Leafs fans want to play Boston, but you all wanted to play Montreal last time too. It makes for great TV, makes for really painful heartbreaks. Matchup wise, you want to play the Bruins. Mentally, headspace wise, you don't want to play the Bruins. Nobody does on the Leafs. The pressure playing the Bruins is going to be massive, huge. I wouldn't want to play the Bruins if I was Leafs. I just want to let sleeping dogs lie. They only have 4 players. It's the perfection line and Charlie McAvoy. After that, look, I like the Bruins too, but they're not in the same class as these 3 teams, but they can do damage. And when you're led by Patrice Bergeron and you've had this weight on your shoulder for as long as Toronto did, it's not the matchup that you want. To me, you actually want to find a way, if it's possible, to get Florida. Look, Toronto's they're not going to control their destiny of who they play. That isn't how they work. They're not sitting there going, we're going to play it. They're just sitting going, we're going to beat anybody that you throw at us. That's the mentality of a hockey player. But fans, if you want my opinion of where you want to sit Leafs Nation, I would way rather be in a first round matchup against Florida over Tampa Bay and over Boston. Florida's a better team than Boston. Florida may be a better team than Tampa Bay, but the matchup for the Toronto Maple Leafs is better. It is just better against Florida. I'm not saying they're going to beat Florida. I'm not saying Florida doesn't want Toronto. I am just saying, ideally, I think that's the first round matchup you want. The problem is the second round matchup is going to be against Tampa Bay in that sense. So I think no matter what you do, and Florida fans are going to hate me for this. Florida fan, I slipped. I used a plural when I should have used singular. Florida fan, like Florida man, they're going to be mad about me about this one. And I love Florida. It's a fantastic team. Tampa Bay is going to roll through them again. Tampa Bay is just that good. They're the best team in the NHL right now. So Toronto is going to have to beat Tampa Bay to get through it. They're going to have to beat Florida, Boston to get through it. And then you're going to likely have to play a team like Carolina to get through it. So it is tough sledding, but they have the offense to do it. They need Jack Campbell to tighten up. They need their defense. They don't need to wholesale the defense. You don't have to trade everybody to get big, tough guys in there. Little guys can be effective. Non-aggressive guys can be effective. Just tie up a damn stick, lift it, get in front of them. Oh, and while you're at it, check out this video about the Toronto Maple Leafs power play. It's really good, especially if you want to know why the Maple Leafs power play is so good. And like I said before, go take a look at Captain Jack's salary. See if I got it right. Thanks for being here, YouTube.